Hey guys, what are you doing today? This is Ryan De Jesus. Just wanted to kind of walk you guys through the process and kind of example of how I do the flow chart. What we're looking at right now is PowerPoint. PowerPoint, kind of getting some recommendations, some feedback from Ross within our class too, and then as well as even Dr. Simmons. You'll see the example that I'm gonna be kind of utilizing off of him, but really kind of looking at the process and just educating myself, but hopefully kind of give you guys a perspective based on how to create a flow chart with that. So that being said, we're looking at PowerPoint right now. I'm going to go to the actual flowchart example shared by Dr. Simmons on the post, and we're looking at really it's hey, start, decision, the process, 1, 2, 3, action, end, and really these are the key examples, and we're going to be kind of using this as a skeleton or an example, if you will, as a reference. But if we're going to the blank sheet, going back to the blank sheet, go right here, and we'll start adding on our actual shapes. So inserting here, and then from insert, we'll actually go to the shapes themselves. And if we're looking at the triangle, rectangle, what have you, kind of look at the reference point. And again, apologies, kind of going back and forth with clicking, but it kind of keeps me accountable. We'll pull up a circle first. So really, like, hey, the circle is going to go right here. And then again, PowerPoint allows us to make sure that spacing, line, really just making sure that kind of cleaning up the process, so which is great, which is an awesome tool. And then from here too, we kind of go through the wickets here of creating kind of a couple different shapes that are represented, so circle, diamond. Let's see some rectangles here. Let's do another rectangle. And then so as far as for going back to the shapes themselves, again, if you look on the left here too, one of the things, if I'm going back to inserting back and forth, but it has your quick bar, we can go here and then really kind of click, kind of save some time. I know you kind of get, for myself, get familiarized. Sometimes I forget about it, but again, kind of get a heads up with you guys too as well. Uh, so we'll pull up one final triangle here, and then we'll pull a final circle, here, and then we'll start cleaning everything up. So let's see here, start right here as far as for the start. Let's go through the decision, cleaning some triangles up. Let's expand them as far as for turning these squares into triangles. Again, expanding these right here. Going through. And really the great thing about PowerPoint, again, one of the things Ross had mentioned, it's awesome as far as for spacing because you can kind of see just the ease of how it is to lock everything in. Microsoft PowerPoint may be a little bit better, a little bit worse in certain things, but I kind of like this process. So again, big shout out to Ross for helping out. But now, so we got kind of the basic layout. So if you kind of go back here, kind of looks for the most part fairly similar. And so now we're going to want to try to create those arrows, and the arrows as far as for the line terminologies. So we'll kind of go from there. So really, like, hey, doing the start process, and then really just creating the flow. I mean, this is really going to cause the flow transition. So again, we're going to go to insert, and then from here, just additional more shapes. And then so now we can actually go to the lines themselves, and then whether it's here, and then so the great thing is if you connect it, orient it, and I think we're good to go when it comes to this. So from here, guys, and if we're doing this the kind of the way, I can probably just kind of copy and paste. So here in another line, if we need to go here again, it's connecting. And from here, kind of rotating up. And let's change the orientation. And so as we create these lines, again, when it comes to here, and I'll try to kind of line them up that way it looks a little bit kind of smooth line. And then where we're going, just again, making sure everything is kind of systematic and thorough. No really surprises here for you guys. This is the kind of just the follow through piece. And then finally, the last one. Okay, so now we can kind of actually see the arrows created. That kind of shows the flow process, and really it's kind of infancy, but really the breakdown for the arrows. So again, we'll go back to Dr. Simmons's breakdown. And so we want to start actually populating the shapes. So to start decisions in the process 1, 2, and 3, and then so we'll do that. So as far as for here, so do start, decision, and then so if you guys notice, all we got to do is make it a little bit bigger. We're going to do one of two things. So if we want to make it a little bit bigger, or to make actually the font, it's currently set at 18 right now, and we'll make it to about 12. 12 sounds about right. Make it a little bit bigger, and now we can kind of move it where we need to, and expanding. So again, a little bit plug and play with you guys. And then as far as for that, process 1 and 2. So process 1, process 2, and then finally process 3. And so now we're going to go back again, action, and then really now is the end. And then so now if you guys can kind of see just a basic breakdown, again, we can kind of try to, change the colors, change the site pictures, clean up some of the arrows, all those things are going to be kind of great in making sure that the visual aspect is clean, good to go. How can we make sure the best demonstration, the best site picture for our learners, and then really for the instructional design process. But no, guys, I appreciate it. Again, big thanks to Ross, Dr. Simmons too as well, as far as the reference source point for the flowchart within your submissions. And yeah, looking forward to getting after it. Thanks again, guys. Appreciate it.